Today's a little bit more of a recovery form day. So, while I'm working on the squat, I basically want to be squatting every single time I go in to, go into the gym. But, I think the want to take the foot off the gas and the CNS fatigue a little today, because I think in 2 days I'll do another heavier volume day than last time. So today will be more kind of like squatting more to grease the groove than to create a stimulus. So I think we're going to be doing some tempo paused, just kind of like slow eccentric, hold the bottom for a bit, and then power out of the hole. Maybe three sets of 5 at a more middle of the road lighter weight. So maybe 255 to 285, depending on how things are feeling. And then, that'll really, really focus in. I think, as you probably know, strength is very neurological. It's often more of a skill than like a physical, or, I don't know what the alternative is, but it's more of a skill, I think, than anything else. And so I think really, really trying to be present and mindful of how my body is moving and how everything feels, and just kind of grinding in the neural pathways. I think after pause squats, I don't like not doing something hard, but I think today it's important not to do something that is very fatiguing. So I think we'll do some heavy weighted pull-ups, because I don't think that'll, would not want to do, for example, like heavy RDLs or something that'll like destroy my body. I think like some heavy pull-ups will be challenging, but not create a ton of fatigue. And then maybe close out with, I don't know, whatever. I think once I've eaten my vegetables, maybe I'll do a little bit of vanity, maybe some like pec flies or something. We'll see. But yeah. One more digression before we jump into the actual training footage is just to really hone in on how I think about kind of like injury, mobility, flexibility. I think a lot of people back off too fast on perceived injury. The reality, of course, is that, we are trying to injure ourselves in the gym. Like, we're trying to tear the muscles a little bit. When you feel pain, you actually, you kind of want to dig into that and keep lifting heavy around that joint carefully, because that is what will make your tendons and your muscles just stronger and more robust. And I've seen this play out, when I was a beginner, I did what many people do, which is when I felt pain in my back or pain in my knees, pain in my hips, back off on the squat, because, a lot of novice programming is a little too hedged. You do 100 lifts at once, and so you can always do something else. You do the thing that doesn't feel bad, but you will never break through with that mindset, you'll never kind of like actually progress. I've actually hit my biggest, my squat PR I hit when I actually had non-trivial knee pain, I would say, for most people. I think I know my body well enough to know that, feel the difference between soreness and injury. But yeah, like you really gotta ride that line very carefully, but lean towards getting comfortable with a little bit of pain, especially as an older lifter. I think it's scary at first, but just make sure. I mean, this is why I do a lot of stretching, mobility, sort of almost like mindfulness work for your muscles and tendons. You want to sort of really understand what's going on all around your body. Okay, I mean, I could go on and on this topic, because I'm pretty clearly quite passionate about it, but I'm going to stop here and get back to the lifts. But if you're watching this and you actually like these kinds of longer form thoughts, let me know as well in the comments, because maybe I'll make separate videos where I just kind of like rant about these kinds of topics. Yeah, all right, back to the lifts. All right, warm up done. Time to, I think I'm gonna do 275. That 3x5 paused, nice and slow again. The goal today, or sort of the way I'm approaching this, is to be hyper focused on, on my body, basically, just sort of feel the muscles and tendons, they stretch on the way down, kind of really try to, I hate the term mind-muscle connection, but, kind of manifest that mind-muscle connection to sort of power on the way out. Feel the whole, feel the bottom position, kind of like continue to cultivate sort of like comfort in that bottom position. And yeah, so almost more of like a mindfulness day than a intensity day. So yeah, let's get started. business as usual soreness from 2 days ago, but everything feels nice and robust and mobile. The machinery works. So yeah, now I think kind of just gonna have a little bit of fun. Mentioned weighted pull-ups. Not really doing this for a specific strength reason, but I like getting after something. Every time I get in the gym, and pull-ups are a nice dual to squats because you spend a lot of time in this spinal decompression state. And also it's it's like a pull versus a push, like extension. Yeah, it's more for fun, more to just kind of like satisfy the competitive spirit that I have going into every day in the gym. All right, that feels like a good amount of work for the day. Lots are feeling pumped. Feel like I tried hard at something. Feel like really sort of got my reps in, my practice in with the squat. No need to overdo it today. I know I said I was gonna do some vanity work, like some pec flies and stuff, but nah, I'm gonna cool down the rotator cuff a bit with some Lou raises and Cuban rotations. I'm not gonna put that on camera because I feel like this video's gotten too long already. But yeah, gonna call it there. Until next time.